Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel. Have you ever wanted to capture your travel memories in a creative and personal way but don't know where to start? Well, you are in the right place because in today's video I'm going to share my essential supplies that you might want to begin your travel journaling journey. So let's dive in. Hey, I'm Alicia and here are a few things you should know about me. I love sunshine and color and traveling and travel journaling. My work involves things like painting and making surface patterns and painting murals. I also love skateboarding, knitting, playing my ukulele, and making messes in my sketchbook. Get to know more about me and my dogs by following me on Instagram at @thealiciabruce. Now back to the video. All right, let's talk travel journals. So the very most important thing that I look for in a travel journal is paper quality, because I need a paper that is going to be durable and will stand up to these pigment and moisture heavy markers that I'm using in my sketchbooks and my journals. I don't want it to bleed through to the other side because I'm using both sides of the page. So back in the day when I first started travel journaling, I used to take them with me. I was looking for something small and easy to pack, and I was just writing in a ballpoint pen. And so you can see how thin it was. I didn't need to worry about a lot of bulk and really durable pages. But as I went on in my travel journaling journey, that's hard to say, my book started getting thicker and thicker, and I was adding a lot more to the page. So I realized I needed something that was going to have a harder cover and it was going to have a little bit more durable pages, which brings me to my actual favorite travel journal right now, which is the Wanderlust Passport by Bobo Design Studio. These are my absolute favorite travel journals, and what I love about them is that Angie designed these specifically to be, good travel journals. They're going to take all the stickers and washi and markers and everything that we throw at them. You can see that even though some of the finished ones are bulky, and you'll see that I do put a lot of stuff in them, the covers aren't bulging out like my old ones. Speaking of the covers, I love the material they're made of. It's like a soft matte. It feels very nice to hold, but it's still capable of handling stickers, which I like to put stickers on them so I can identify which journal they are. Inside the journal, you'll have a few pages with introduction and kind of how to use it, but the rest of it is ready to be journaled on. The top has some prompts for information about your trip, which I always fill out. And if I don't fill them out, I cover them in washi tape. And then half of the page is a dot grid, half of it's blank. So it's really helpful to have both of those. And then in the back, there's a pocket that comes with some stickers. We love stickers. And when I'm journaling, I just use it to put little things in that I've cut up, and I don't want them to get lost, and it's really handy. So here are just a few examples of how I like to use my Wanderlust Passport. You can see that I'm putting photos in here. I am drawing and sketching with markers. There's washi tape. There's all kinds of stuff in here, and you can see as I flip through that it does not bleed through to the other side, even when I'm kind of coloring in something. So, and also the pages hold up as I'm turning them, like when I have the photos in there, and I add little scraps in the back of it, and clips of paper and all kinds of stuff. So I love these, so hopefully you'll give them a try. So this travel journal is actually new to me. I ordered my husband one for Christmas, and then I got myself one. And this is one that's super cool because it has all the countries around the world, and I'm using it a little bit more as kind of a scrapbook versus a travel journal. But for me, this is nice because some of my trips aren't going to actually become a full travel journal. I'm not going to go back to older ones, or some of them, I don't know, they just won't end up making a full travel journal out of them. So this is a really fun way to log every country I've visited. I love the little prompts in here, like for money or adding sand or little questions. So I'm slowly getting through it, but this has been a really fun one. Okay, it's time to talk about markers and pens. Super exciting. I love buying markers and pens. So my number one all-time favorite is the Tombow dual brush pen. A lot of these call themselves pens, even though you or I would describe them as markers. But this is a two-sided brush pen, and so this brush side is what I use most of the time. Like 90% of the time I'm using this brush side. But on the opposite side, there's also kind of a smaller bullet tip pen to it, and this lets you write kind of smaller letters or kind of add little details or outlines to things. But usually I'm using the pen for my brush lettering. So you can see here, when I'm travel journaling, I'm just adding little titles or anything that I want to stand out as I'm flipping through so I can find kind of where I am in the journal. What I also really love about these is that they come in so many colors. I have amassed all of these colors over years of buying them. I didn't go out and get them all at once, but my advice is every time you're at the craft store, buy another one or two, or if they're on sale, grab a couple, and over time you'll have plenty. And then I add them to my journal for, lettering, but also for drawing. I love to draw and doodle using those, so most of what you see here I used my Tombos. So this is the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Brush, which is a mouthful. It's really just another brush marker. The tip on this is a lot finer, I think, than the Tombow, so this is really great for hand lettering. Words that are just a little bit smaller, even though in my example here I'm just drawing little hearts, but you can get an idea of the brush tip on this. It's a little smaller. Comes in fewer colors though. Next up is the Karin Brush Marker Pro, another brush pen, also great for hand lettering. Again, in my sample here, I'm just drawing lines. I'm trying to find things to show you uses for this, but I do use this for little doodles and things in my book as well. This is kind of one of my favorite lettering pens to actually write in my journal. It is the Fudenosuke, I think is how you say it, and there's two. There is a soft tip and a hard tip. The soft tip allows you to be a little bit more brushy with the letters, and the hard tip allows you to write. So I sometimes write with that. I also write with these. They're monoline pens. This is from the Pigeon Letters. Shout out Peggy. They come in all different sizes. And this is a really great pen as well for kind of just handwriting in the journal. It's really hard to write with the camera kind of right where my head needs to be, so my handwriting's terrible here. But normally, yes, I do use this pen quite a bit. Another option is the Le Pen, the Stabilo. They all come in different colors. I'm not showing you how to use those because I don't use them a lot, but they're options if you want them. This is the Ecoline brush pen. These also come in a bunch of colors, not as many as the Tombow. They're very juicy, so if there's anything that's going to bleed through, it would be these. But I actually haven't really had that much of an issue of them bleeding through in my travel journal, other sketchbooks a little bit, but they're fun for coloring. Another thing I use is the mild liners. These are also two-sided, so kind of the one tip is a typical highlighter tip, and the other side is more of a bullet tip if you wanted to write or add dots. So they're kind of fun. They come in like neon bright colors, so those are fun to have as well. The click art I don't use too much. I use these more in my actual planner, but those are kind of fun. And then colored pencils, maybe something you want to use. I use them a lot, but not in my travel journals. I use them in sketchbooks more often. Okay, now we have all the journaling supplies. These are all the fun things that we add into the journal to really bring it to life. So the first thing that I'll talk about is the washi tape that I use. I buy them on Etsy. I buy them all the time, craft store, wherever. And I use this to just add elements to the page when I don't want to use double-sided tape and I just want to add a little bit of color. It comes in rolls, and you can also get these cute little pre-cut strips. These are perfect if you plan to take your travel journal with you and journal on the go. Next up, I have paper scraps. A lot of this is actual scrapbook paper that I got from the craft store, and it's been since cut into little squares and strips and things. You can also get pre-cut scrapbook pieces, and then also you can just save paper. These were envelopes from a course I took. They were so beautiful that I kind of trimmed them down and kept them for scrapbook paper. Next up, we have scissors. Any kind will do. I actually have like crappy looking scissors, but those were cute for the video. Double-sided tape. Nothing special. This is just some generic double-sided tape that I have on hand. So this brings us to the travel ephemera, and if you're not familiar with the word ephemera, it really just means things that were not designed with the intention of being collected, but have been. And so for us travelers, that means all kinds of things: ticket stubs, stickers, printed items, pamphlets, etc. You can see this bin that I have here, where I recently organized my disastrous mess of just like bags and stuff that I've kept from trips. And now each trip has its own envelope filled with all kinds of like little wrappers and little bits that I've saved from trips. So Switzerland, I saved my Swiss Army knife packaging. So all of this, as I go through my journal, I'll eventually cut out and tape in there, and it'll be really fun to have. So the next thing I've started doing recently is money. Some of the places I've been that I don't know that I'll be back anytime soon, I'll take really small bills that I have and I'll put them in the journal. And that's kind of neat to collect the currency, especially as the world is more and more cashless these days. Another favorite thing I do is saved pressed flowers from everywhere I go. And then I put them in my journals with some packing tape. Newspaper clippings are also cool, especially in another language. Those are fun things to save and can easily be pasted in behind photos or something. Next up, we have like wrapping, packaging from like snacks and treats. For some reason, save a lot of those, and it's actually turned out to be really cool in all my journals. Here's a tag that I saved from a little stuffed bird I bought. Here is a map. Maps and pamphlets and brochures are so awesome. I love to save maps. They make great background material, as well as like just cutting out little elements from it. More wrappers, and then finally like brochures. I visited the Hobbiton movie set in New Zealand, and so here's the brochure. And finally, I have stickers. Everybody loves stickers. Stickers are fun to add in on any spread, so I just collect them. And finally, we have photo printers. I get asked about them all the time. And so I have two go-tos. The first one is the Instax mini printer. This one just connects right to your phone via Bluetooth, and you're able to print out these fun retro looking photos. I love these. They're so fun. They really look nice in a spread. The downside is that they're a little bit more expensive. Not that they're unaffordable, but when you're printing as many as I am for all of my travel journals, it adds up. So I started using this Canon Ivy printer, and these are really nice. The photos have an adhesive on the back, so they stick right into the journal. You don't even need tape, and they're definitely a lot less expensive. So I can buy these in bulk, and it works. So that's it. I hope this was really helpful for you. I get so many questions about my travel journals, how to get started, what supplies I love to use, what photo printers to use. So I just wanted to share all that information with you. Obviously, go with your gut. Try new things, try out different tools, experiment and see what you like. But I think that the more that you get into travel journaling, the more that you're going to realize it's awesome. You're going to fall in love with it. You're going to want to do it for every trip, and you're going to come up with your own style over time. So definitely get a journal, get some supplies, start small. You don't have to get everything all at once, and give it a try, see how it goes. And definitely let me know if you do. Tag me, I'd love to see it. Thanks. Hey, are you watching this video in early 2025? That means there's still room left for you to join me and Alyssa Ann Travels on a travel journaling trip to Cappadocia. Click the link to learn more.